Hello, welcome back to We Met Behind the Castle. Today we're here to check out the Halloween Horror Nights updates. It is August 6th, so we're just under a month away from the event. So let's go into the park, check out all the scare zones and all the updates that are coming for the event. I checked last year on Instagram to see when the medallion went up for the houses, and it was August 25th is when I came out to film. So I think the 24th is when it popped up, about the 24th or 25th. So we should be getting that in a couple weeks. They now have both ticket plazas open for the rest of August, and then leading into Halloween Horror Nights, it would have been very crowded at just the one. So it's good to see both of them back. So they have this platform just as you walk into the park. It's a little bit before Minion Land. It's actually further up than I think I've seen most things, but it's a huge platform that I think probably get an icon on. Dr. Oddfellow maybe standing up there on that platform. So that could be a lot of fun, and all of his oddities. So I think that you're gonna have Dr. Oddfellow welcoming you in here for the opening ceremonies as well. This thing is massive. It's got huge speakers underneath it as well, and it's got lighting up on it as well too. So I think underneath Dr. Oddfellow you'll have his oddities kind of start here, that scare zone, and push all the way back. I think they brought it forward a little bit just because of Minion Land, because I think the two rides are going to be open as well for Halloween Horror Nights, and it's not as congested, I think, right up there. So I don't know, it kind of opens up some opportunities here. And then there's going to be a house here on the left, which they believe is Yeti Campground Kills. So we're going to, of course, head right into Hollywood, make our way back and see any of the updates for Halloween Horror Nights, any props that have popped up over the week. It's become like a weekly update. We're here every Sunday to check on the week's updates. But this week, I'm actually able to come out to the parks during the week, so that way we can check them out, see if there's any updates for Halloween Horror Nights. Again, we're just about 3 weeks away from the actual event, so a lot of the props should be popping up over the next week or so. So we think this is just going to be some kind of banner, but it does have lighting underneath it, so it makes you wonder. That's interesting. It looks like a fog machine that's covered up there. But they did start to add some fog machines in behind some of the props. So we'll check those out and see if we can see anything. So they have this sign out that is always very exciting. It's the Partner Dust sign, but they do have this platform. It looks like it's going to be a stage for Dark Zodiac, and Dr. Oddfellow is going to be using it as Dark Zodiac to kind of power up and become immortal. So he's going to be twisting the spirits of the Zodiac and using it for an advantage. This is going to be so awesome. All your favorite Zodiacs and all your Zodiacs can be right here. Jim and I are going to be the absolute worst, probably. No, I'm kidding. It's a joke. It's a joke, guys. This is a great looking prop. It's got some blood on it, looks like, or some rust that looks like blood. I don't know. It looks like there's blood coming out of the eyes from underneath these Zodiacs. We'll zoom in a little bit.
Let's go now, I think. Yeah.
That's awesome. Looks like there's going to be some fog or something coming up out of those because the trash bags are covered in them. And this looks like a cauldron kind of thing, or like a summoning area. I don't know. Maybe get some fog out of that too. It's a good looking little set here. I love that. So what is your Zodiac? Leave that in the comments below. Which one are you most excited to see? Your own, or maybe some others? I don't know. I tried to look, but I think this closes right around September 1st when Halloween Horror Nights starts. So I think it's throughout the summer that you can go through the Jurassic Park tribute store. They're not closing it down early for Halloween Horror Nights because the tribute store is actually moving back to its original location in New York. But the tribute store for Jurassic Park 30th anniversary is still up here in Hollywood. So the Exorcist merchandise is still this main merchandise, and I think until we get maybe some other shirts or merch for the intellectual properties, this will remain. They don't really have like Chucky specific Halloween Horror Nights merch, so I'm wondering if that'll be the next. So I'm trying to think if, I think it's the last IP that really needs that, or Universal Monsters Unmasked, but I imagine that'll be out when the event starts. So I don't know how much more merch we'll get. So they still have the Stranger Things 4, Stranger Things hat, and then the See You in the Fog stuff. And again, I hadn't seen the shirt since it went out the first time, so I don't think we're getting any more shirts for that. And we got some more props over here on this side of the street in Hollywood. And again, Zodiac signs. Dark Zodiac is the scare zone. A platform, there's going to be some scare actors on there, I imagine. Got some fog that'll be coming in here soon too. Is the fish Pisces? I never remember. I am not good with Zodiac, but it should be pretty interesting. Is that supposed to be a crab? What is that? Looks like a crab. I'm confused. So, two huge props right in the entrances of the scare zones. So, I imagine some more props will be going here in the middle of the street soon. Ah! It's The Simpsons. Just kidding. It's not that scary. It's a long line. They usually get a long line when they come out. I haven't seen their motor vehicle in a while, but they still have this lighting truss as well. So Cafe La Bamba actually has some theming over here next to it, but I don't think we've ever eaten here. And I kind of interested to kind of see what the meals are like here. Looks good. Mexican restaurant. And for a while they were doing the VIP or the RIP tours here, where you would get unlimited desserts and food for the RIP tours. I don't know if they're doing it at Cafe La Bamba again, but it's typically where they'll have that for the RIP tours, which is the VIP tours for Halloween Horror Nights. And Cafe La Bamba is right before you go into the Central Park area of the park. I guess catty corner from Central Park Crepes. But over here, a food booth has popped up, so we're gonna go check it out. So last year they had the Dias de los Muertos food booth here for Halloween Horror Nights. It looks like it's back again. I don't know if it'll have the same name, but it is Mexican inspired. These are where the menus will go. But they also do the fountain back here for the theming that they have up and around the food booths for Halloween Horror Nights. So all sorts of good stuff. But yeah, these are really good seats for Halloween Horror Nights if you grab food and want to get somewhere to sit. But they had really good tacos as far as last year is concerned. So yeah, Taste of Terror, which is going to be a tasting of all the Halloween Horror Nights foods, all you can eat for the event itself. And it's actually running through August, so it's August 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, and 24th, 25th, and 26th. And the Taste of Terror is going to be a sampling of all the food that's coming to Halloween Horror Nights this year. So I think we'll get the menu, or at least people vlogging or posting the actual menu itself. We're not gonna do the event just because we'll wait till the event to actually taste the food. But I imagine as they start to release those, the menus for those events, they're just gonna place them in when they get the food booths up. So we should be able to come out here in the next coming weeks to see the food that's coming to the event. All right, so we're heading into Jungle of Doom, Expedition of Horror. And it is a jungle themed scare zone this year. They've added a little bit of camouflage in for, I think, what are the fog machines and the speakers. But they've added some greenery to this prop since we were out here last Sunday with Matt. It looks great. I'm really excited about this. I don't know what it's gonna be, but it should be pretty fun. So typically on the props they'll add in like this camouflage netting to hide either fog machines or speakers. I imagine there's gonna be a couple scare actors back here behind this prop here. But then they've added in a new prop. Kind of looks like I don't know, like a tent. I have no idea. We're gonna go look at it. It looks like a good place for a scare actor to be, but I don't really know what it is. Looks like a boat. I don't know. Looks like from Bug's Life. No idea. It's pretty interesting though. I mean, I'm assuming that thing opens and there's gonna be scare actors hidden back in here. So.
Simpsons, but there's nowhere really.
Also a tree in a box. Looks like a really big planter. It is interesting though because there's not like doorways or curtains, so I'm assuming somebody's gonna be in there. I just don't know. I don't know how you would get in there. I have no idea. I think there might be a way in, but it's kind of weird that there's just a tree in it. Interesting. So you have that one, and then right across the way you have the same kind of thing, but the tree's bigger. I don't understand. Interesting. Oh, and these vines have been used for bats. We're gonna go look at them. They're down the way a little bit, but this is new. And we were wondering what this like truss could be. Well, we figured it out. This little rig is holding a crashed plane. It's gonna plane crash right in the middle of the jungle. Wood crates and luggage. Interesting. Kind of a good place to hide in behind these crates for Horror Nights, so I'm assuming that's what they'll be used for, these props. But again, huge planter with, I guess the front does kind of look like a doorway, but I don't know. Like I don't know what that's gonna be. I have no idea. But they have different crates. Obviously, good places for scare actors to hide behind. And the same kind of planters and that same, I don't, it's really confusing. I don't really know. I think there's supposed to be like tents down this way. But the thing that you'll probably notice in the screen they've added bats in on these vines. Look at them. We're gonna zoom in on them. That's cool. They look like they can move back and forth on these wires, so I guess we'll find out, but it's interesting. But again, I don't get these. I don't understand. A good place to hide behind, but maybe it's just supposed to be like, look like the jungle, and there's not actually gonna be anybody in these because I don't think there's a way into those. They just look like crates. They don't look like they have little doorways to get into them, so. Some interesting props here in Central Park. I'm interested to see what this kind of comes up into, because we didn't really get much background on the actual scare zone, just a little description. So this is the exit out towards where Springfield is. And then we saw these last time, but we didn't see the actual fog machine that they've added in now. So just before scare zones, I'll have these wooden box that'll be the fog that comes out into the scare zone. And that's new since we were here last. All right, I think we're gonna head back. Well, let's go check on there's not much construction I don't think you can really see, but they do have that big metal frame still poking up over the wall. But I think they did retreat the walls some, so we're gonna go back here and check it out, because it's typically where like house exits are, so I'm kind of interested to see if they've done anything back here that'll show us the signs that they're gonna use these for the exit again. Yeah, so they've taken back the walls. Restrooms are back. And E.T.'s toy closet, there was a wall in and around E.T.'s for some of the actual store itself, so that's all been torn back. So I imagine they're still going to be using this as an exit, although I think it'll be really tight. So it'll be interesting, but right now it does appear they're still going to be using this for the Horror Nights exit. Still no confirmations as to if there's going to be roaming hordes of people, scare actors, chainsaw gangs, but the rumor is, of course, Megan. And it does seem like they were doing auditions for Megan-sized dancers. So I think that's what we're gonna get right in this area, which is why that lighting rig's there. So be interesting. They usually don't announce them. You usually just see them in the event. So I think until the team member event, we're not gonna know. Oh, thank goodness. The walls are gone out here in front of, I guess, the Simpsons ride. So that's great, because this was a huge bottleneck. And all of these were back behind walls, so they're all back now. Walls are gone. That game is gone where you try to hit the bell all the way up to the tower with your hammer. I forget what that thing's actually called, but it's gone. And now this is just a wide open area. So this is good. I guess I could use that exit for Horror Nights. I don't really know what's back there. I don't usually do the Simpsons ride. So, alrighty. Well, this is very good news for Halloween Horror Nights. Back here by the Men in Black bathrooms, they still have the truss up for one of the entrances to the house, or both entrances, I don't know. I think they're just going to use one entrance here and then two down this way from what we gathered from the spec maps. So that was here last time we were here, but nothing really added back here by Men in Black. It's just an entrance to Halloween Horror Nights house. So we're gonna make our way around here, duck back into Diagon Alley, see if they've added anything. I don't think they have, and then make our way up to a scare zone, which they really have added to. And this is where two of the entrances, I believe, are going to be. So, looks like there's a golf cart back there. We definitely did see a tent back this way towards Fear Factor Live when you look backstage. So, I don't know if it's the one that you can see from Men in Black or if it's another one. But Nightmare Fuel is returning, and that's the stadium which it takes place. So, nothing really to update you on there. But, well, I guess this truss, I don't think that was here last time. Looks like it's just going to be the Nightmare Fuel sign. I think it's just lighting for the pathway back here towards Nightmare Fuel, but you never know, because there's a couple of them up, and there are going to be roaming Death Eaters. I don't know if they're going to come actually out of Diagon Alley out here, but I'm thinking they are, because there's a couple props out here in Harry Potter, like in London, on the outside of Diagon Alley. So I think they're going to be in the Muggle world and in the Wizarding world. Like I said, there's the trunk and like a chest of I don't know what, but it looks like this could be somewhere where a Death Eater's kind of roaming back here in this grass area. There's not really anything else out here that would like indicate they are going to be out here except for those two props. So we're gonna head back into Diagon Alley, check out any of the Halloween Horror Nights props, see if they've added anything back here. Well, I don't think the ropes were here last time, or the things in that basket or that one. So they have been adding to it. I'll have to look back and see if they were, but I don't think those ropes and stuff were there. Just some minor touches, it looks like. So nothing's really been added to the Peacock Bar back here on the San Francisco Wharf, Pier 41. So it is going to be the Peacock Bar. Universal owns Peacock. It's got a lot of horror movies, so we're assuming there's going to be some, either some trailers or screens with some of the movies on them. So that's that'll be interesting once that starts to come together. We're gonna head this way into this scare zone. Talk a little bit about it. Shipyard 32, Horrors Unhinged. They do have a couple of props that have popped up. Huge shipping containers, looks like. Looks like what, almost like a water rig? I don't know what that is. It'll be interesting. Huh. That does have a door in it, so. Alrighty. Those have doors in them, so I wonder if they can actually get in those. Or if it'll just, I'm assuming they do because that's opened at the top there. Interesting. Well, it looks like what was like a cage or a shipping container that has live beast in them, so that's gonna be a lot of fun. Whatever is in these, I'm assuming it could be all sorts of different creatures. Looks like they've got doors and stuff on this side as well. More of shipping containers. I don't know a lot about shipping. What's that? It's like a hole there. Interesting. Yeah, I'm interested to see what they can put inside of this crate. Fog machine. Heck yeah. All right, onward and forward. We're going to go into the New York Scare Zone because there's a ton of updates in there that we'll have to check out. Impeccable timing. I'm always here when they do the flash mobs in the middle of New York. So lots of updates here in this Scare Zone. So we're gonna check all of them out. And you can kind of see one sticking out a little bit if you look closely. I'm really excited about this. So they have music, I guess, banners? Yeah, music banners up for Summer Music Fest 69. They've got them up on, looks like every single one of the lights. So, ooh, a yawn there. They got a yellow one up over there. Got that same blue one. Got a pink one over here. We saw these last time. They added some fog machines in though. Looks like it's just gonna be a Music Fest booth. Maybe some dead people. I don't know. Vampires hanging out in there. But I love this. I think I like the pink one the best. So they've got this groovy looking bus. And I imagine that there's gonna be scare actors in them as well as some other, maybe some dead beings, I don't know. Some people that have been grabbed by the vampires in Vamp 69. That's an awesome looking bus. This thing's massive. It takes up a lot of space here in New York. This is right outside the Revenge of Mummy. Some groovy looking designs, man. So groovy. Heck yeah. This is so cool. Here's a look at the other side of it. This thing is awesome. It's probably one of my favorite props ever. That's a good looking bus. I think the general confusion would be if you didn't know what was going on, you'd be like, why is there a huge bus parked here? Revenge of Mummy here. Got the big school bus here. And then if you keep going down this way, you're gonna go right down into the actual stage for Music Fest 69. And again, this is called Vamp 69. And it's a bunch of vampires have taken over a musical festival. And they're going to warp the musicians. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Great music. I think going to be a really popular area. Got all the lighting trusses up right now. guitars and all sorts of different things. I wonder if there's actually going to be musicians up here. I don't know. That'd be kind of fun. Whoa, that bird flew right in front of the camera. That was wild. Some groovy looking motorcycles back here as well. So, Vampire's big motorcycle guys, big Harley guys, so, or gals too. Very interesting. Oh, there's another one over here. These are sweet. Very interesting. But yeah, that scare zone's gonna be great. They've added so much to it. But this is always one of the more popular scare zones. And this was Sweet Revenge from last year. So, looking forward to seeing what this is all going to be with all the vampires roaming around. It's a pretty crowded day here today. Summer is coming to a close for a lot of the schools in the area. I think this week they actually start schools back in Orange County, Osceola, Polk. So the surrounding areas, Lake, they all have school coming up this week, I think. So this might be the last weekend. It's real crowded here. So I'll be interested to see next time I come out, which might be this week sometime, depending on what they all add. Because I got to get over to Disney and do some of the Halloween stuff over there. But depending on what they add this week, might be back over here just to check out the crowd levels during the week. Because again, schools are starting to get back in session. Can't believe it's already August. That's wild. All right, we're gonna head back this way. I think we're gonna head over to Islands of Adventure next, and we'll talk a little bit on the way over. Yesterday they did an annual pass preview for Minion Blast. So VillainCon Minion Blast did have a pass holder preview, and you had to sign up through your email that you got. I don't think they're doing them today, so I think it was just a one-time thing. Their official opening, I think, is August 15th or right around that time, so it's coming up. It's in the teens somewhere, so in the next week or so, it will be official, and then people will start to release some ride footage because they have not let you film it yet. So, all right, we're gonna head out Islands of Adventure, and we'll talk on the way over there about a couple things that are coming up, and then also talk a little bit about Horror Nights. So Halloween Horror Nights runs on select nights from September 1st all the way to November 4th, 44 days this year. It's going to be a really crowded event this year. I think that's why they've expanded it for so long. Stranger Things coming, Last of Us coming, Chucky, The Exorcist. There's going to be a lot of what I think is going to be a huge crowd, and a lot of crowd that's going to be going completely towards Stranger Things and The Last of Us. So sometimes people that don't do the events might come to this one just because of the Stranger Things house. So it'll be interesting to see how long the Stranger Things line is, because in the past it's been some of the longest lines as far as Horror Nights is concerned. But it is extremely hot today. August is our hottest month, so if you're coming to Halloween Horror Nights, September backs up to October obviously, and it's still really hot out. It does rain quite a bit in September, so just as you're planning a Halloween Horror Nights trip, keep all of that in mind. Rains a lot, really hot, probably gonna be pretty crowded because of Stranger Things, but if you're gonna come during September, a little less crowded than October. So it is around 12:30 on Sunday, and typically if you get up early, like right around 9, get there when the park opens, it's a lot less crowded in the morning. But as the afternoon goes on, people tend to get to the parks around 10, 11 o'clock. That's when I would say most people are showing up to the park, when it starts to really get crowded. And then I would say by 3 or 4, if people are going to leave, that's when they're going to leave. So just kind of it's a little bit of a tip, I guess. But it's usually really warm around 2, 3, 4 o'clock. It's the hottest parts of the day here, so you will see a lot of people exit around that time. So they'll get here around 11, spend about 5 or 6 hours in the park, especially a lot of your locals. They don't spend a whole ton of time in the park. It's usually about a half a day if they do come. So, all right, we're gonna go back to the Halloween boutique, check out any merchandise that might be there, see if they have any of the Last of Us merchandise, because I haven't seen that over in the 5 and Dime over at Universal. So welcome to Islands of Adventure. This park is open during HHN and is really not very crowded because the event taking place over Universal Studios. It's going to be a little bit more crowded than I think like a dead day, just because people that can't go to the other park are going to come here that have like a park hopper. So it won't be as crowded as like a summer day, but I do think if you're going to take advantage of Islands of Adventure, do it during one of the Horror Night nights, because the other park just sucks all the crowd and all the locals over to that park. So this park usually is pretty dead. We're gonna head back this way, head back to the boutique, check on some updates, see if there's any construction or anything going on in Poseidon's Fury, which I don't think there is. and then we're gonna go into see if there's any new merch. Welcome to the Lost Continent. I'm so glad we found it. It's a shame it got lost. We reunited it with its family. But no update on Poseidon's Fury, except they did take all the stuff down off of the entrance to the ride as far as signs are concerned. But I don't know, I thought they would, maybe because there's so much water that goes in and out of this building, it'll take a little bit longer to completely demolish it. But I think they're still coming up with a plan here. So it'll be interesting what comes, but still hoping for Zelda. Maybe it'll happen. We'll say the pathways here are a little bit less crowded than Universal was. So Islands of Adventure not as crowded right now, which is weird. So like I said, schools are back in session soon, so this is the last hurrah for a lot of the Central Florida kids before they head back to school for the year. We're going into Monstergram Pictures Studios, which is the Halloween boutique, All Hallows Eve boutique. Let's see if they got any other merch. Oh, that's new. I like that. They also have this one. Spooky is a good one. Halloween is eternal. They also have like a Pumpkin Lord puppeteer.
Yeah, this is the one I had.
And then the Bride of Frankenstein. I love these. It's like the 3D movie posters. Got Wolfman, but they do have all your Universal monsters. None of them which will be featured in this year's house. So they do have Exorcist stuff over here, but I don't see any sorry, there is a Stranger Things hat, and then the shirts on the other side. I meant Last of Us shirts. So I don't know. I don't know if they have any more Last of Us stuff. Some more of those 3D glasses, prints. I love that Wolfman shirt. I've seen that all around the park a lot today too. People wearing that. Can't really see it because of the sun. Got the Creature of the Black Lagoon. They still have this summer theme kind of going on with the soundstage. But yeah, no Last of Us merchandise. It's kind of shocking, to be honest. I like this shirt too. La Fiance de Frankenstein. There's the Stranger Things shirt. And I bought this shirt. That's awesome. Some great prints. Spooky element. Oh, look. Ghost kitty cats. Kind of creepy. There's ghost cats everywhere. I love this art. This is really good. I'd buy some of these. These are awesome. Definitely like classic Halloween in here, but a nice mix of the Universal monsters as well. You got Dracula over there. The Creature from the Black Lagoon is right here filming. I did a video on this store about when it opened, like a month and a half ago, I think it was. So I'll link that down below, but it's got some awesome theming in here. You got some spooky coffee in here as well. A Siren Song coffee, toasted coconut, a dark roast, which is zombie dirt, burial grounds, a dark roast blend, Latin America, African, and Indonesian blend, and a shrieking toad, Tanzanian peaberry, a medium roast. Those are some different flavors than what they had before. Got some storm clouds blowing in, some thunder and lightning. So yeah, we're gonna head out of the park and probably home for the day. So we're gonna close it out there. And I'm back at the house. That was our trip out to Universal Studios to see the Halloween Horror Nights updates. A lot of different props popping up in the scare zones. It was a shorter, quick trip out to Universal. There's not a ton happening as far as what you can see for houses or any of the food booths. We did get to see the Dias Los Muertos food booth pop up over by Cafe La Bamba, heading into the Central Park scare zone. But there are a lot of props now for the different scare zones. We'll hopefully go out back this week because they start to put props out during the week. So we might be back out midweek to check out any of the other props that they add. And then food booths might start to pop up pretty quickly here, as we are just a couple of weeks out from Halloween Horror Nights. I think we're like 3 weeks and a half. So looking forward to September 1st. But again, really exciting time here in Orlando. Thanks for watching this video. We hope to see you guys in the next video, and we hope to see you guys at Halloween Horror Nights.